What's good, people? I've been gone for a very long time. I've been working 10 to 12 hour shifts. I have not been able to give any time to YouTube like that, even for the live streams, but we're back. Didn't want this to be my first video, but this is kind of a emergency panic video, so we're going to hop right into it, man. Golden State lost to the Orlando Magic. This is the fourth game in a row. Fourth. Not one, not two, not three, but the fourth game in a row the Warriors have lost to start the 2023 NBA season. They lost a back-to-back between the Pistons and the Hornets. Then they lost a close game to the Heat. Then they lost another close game to the Orlando Magic. We're going to get right into it. Now, I want to be clear. I didn't want this to be the first video. I have a full predictions video that I pre-recorded like 2 weeks ago. A lot of that is not looking so hot to start. But I got to record this and some has to come out. This is going to be the first video. It is what it is. In this game, and I watched this game all the way through. In this game, Golden State had multiple leads. They were up high. They were scoring. Clay was hot to start. He had 9 quick points in the first quarter. Everything was fine and dandy. But then Orlando got back into this game. And how they did it, they got excellent rebounds. But the biggest way is they got to the free throw line. Repeatedly, over and over, the Orlando Magic took it to the paint and they were rewarded for it. They shot 46 free throws. 46. Not 30. Not 35. They shot 46 free throws. Now listen, Golden State's defense has not been great. They've been giving up almost 120 points per game to almost all the teams they played so far. It's been bad to start. It's been bad. But 46 free throws, part of it is a bad whistle, fair. But another part of it is we cannot stop penetration. We're just letting people get to the rim, get easy baskets, get out in transition. And because of that pressure they're putting on the rim, they're getting to the free throw line. It's been bad. It just has not been great. And this notion that, oh, it's only been 5 games, Gifted. Oh, it's only been 6 games, Gifted. Oh, it's only been 7 games, Gifted. We shouldn't worry. Bullshit. This is a team that is trying to win a NBA championship. If you don't finish as the top 3 seed in the West or the East, it is very slim that you go out there to win a championship within that same season. Teams that aren't 500 to start within the first 10 games are typically doomed and don't win the title either. So a lot of things have to change immediately for the Warriors. Because again, it's 82 games. It's a long season. We know this. We understand this. But losing games to the Pistons, losing games to Charlotte, losing games to Orlando, even though all 3 of those teams have been promising teams that have had players pop out for them, emerge for them, do great things for them. That's a great story. But losing those games when it comes down to seeding and matchups and trying to make the playoffs and seeing how things work out, those losses will hurt you in January. They will hurt you in February. They will hurt you in March when you're trying to make that run to finalize what your playoff seeding is. Now the Warriors have to win maybe 4 straight, 5 straight, 6 straight, just to make up for the losses that have occurred. And the crazier part about it is we have a back-to-back. So that's right. There's going to be another Warriors game on Friday versus the Pelicans. And they're saying Brandon Ingram, guess what? Brandon Ingram is going to be coming back. He's missed all these games, but he's probable for this game. Zion, one of the best rim finishers in the NBA, gets to feast on our defense. So for me, there's a lot of things that this team has to figure out. They extended Wiggins. They extended Poole. My last 2 videos were focused on those. Great. They got paid. Great. Phenomenal. You got to play like it. Jordan Poole. I want to talk about him. I love Jordan Poole. Went to Michigan with him. Like he wants it badly. I get that. I respect all of that. But ultimately, when you're evaluating the sport, and you're looking at these players on the court when they're playing, Jordan Poole has not lived up to expectations without Steph Curry. Now, last season, for full context, I said this repeatedly. You can go back on the channel and view my videos to start the playoffs, in the middle of the playoffs, Whenever Jordan Poole's name came up, I always said Jordan Poole is the guy that makes the negative when Steph leaves the court less of a negative. He has not done that this season. He is a minus when Steph Curry is not on the floor. And if we're going to have any chance of winning a title, that has to change. James Wiseman, another player who I had hopes for coming into the season, which I still do. I haven't given up on him, but ultimately he's a negative. When he's on the floor, teams go on runs against us. Now, is that all his fault? No, there's a bunch of factors, but the way that he's being used in drop coverage compared to being a switchable big is an issue. Rebounding is an issue. Foul IQ at times is an issue. He jumps for a lot of things. Also, he cannot finish easy shots sometimes. His hands are not that great. It's like that. But they're trying to adjust the young core in at the same time as they have the veteran core. So that way things are gelling together as they try to win. Because this is going to help the older core age as these guys get better. But you cannot do that mission if you're sacrificing games that you should win to start the season. So in my mind, you still do that. But you have to do it at a point to where you're winning games at a clip to where they're able to get those minutes and develop after the game has been decided. That's just how it has to be. That's what I believe. I think Wiseman can still play some minutes, but I wouldn't be surprised if they send him to the G League to develop because the fundamentals just aren't there. And my thing about Wiseman is ideally you would want him to be a starter over Kevon Looney. Looney would be a closer, obviously, because Looney's excellent, but to me, Looney is really a backup big. He's really a backup big. But the fact that Wiseman is not fully tuned into the game, cannot do the fundamental things that Looney provides, he cannot take that spot. And that puts more pressure on Looney to be Looney. So I don't know how we fix those issues. I don't know how we overcome that. I'm not giving up on James Wiseman all the way, but those minutes or those rotations have to be tweaked in some type of capacity. Klay Thompson, another guy, has not started out the season shooting well. Now I'm never giving up on Klay. A lot of people have come on Twitter, have told me Klay is bad. Klay is washed. He's, cheese on defense. It's just easy. For Klay, he starts out seasons slow. And I paid attention to his defense. It's not that great, but it is not as much of a negative because you have Wiseman doing most of the POA. His shots haven't fallen, but that's not new. Klay has started multiple seasons shooting the ball bad. Now, granted, Steph had 39 in this game. Maybe Klay, you take less shots, but ultimately, Klay is who Klay is. He's a volume shooter. He's going to get those shots up. That's just what he does. Should that be tolerated? Maybe not. But I'm less worried about Klay. I think Klay will figure it out. I'm more worried about defensive rebounding. I'm more worried about this team not having any foul discipline whatsoever. And I'm more so worried about rim pressure. Because, by the way, outside of Steph and Poole, where's the rim pressure on this team? We don't get to the free throw line like that. It's primarily Steph penetrating Kuminga occasionally, who's been getting DNPs. It's not a lot there. But I still have faith in this team, right? It hasn't been 10 games yet, right? But ultimately, you're going to have to make changes now. You can't wait until you're 15, 20 games in when you're like 3 games under 500. And you got to get stuff together now. And I think a part of it is awareness, a part of it is attention to detail, and a part of it is tweaking the lineups to where it makes more sense. Finding ways to be effective when Steph isn't on the court. And ultimately, it's just up to guys to play better. Like, I had this team where I had them because I thought that this team would be better based on what their expectations were. And I was an optimist for a lot of those things. It's still early. I can still be right. But this matters. This is not something that can prolong all the way to like December. No, it has to be fixed in November. Because when you get to January or February, you are who you are. So a part of them figuring out their identity and fully easing into what the Warriors do well is figuring these things out now before the going gets very, very difficult. And we did the video breaking down exactly what the schedule would be. Things are going to get very, very difficult as the season progresses. So it's on the Warriors to adjust, fight through this adversity, and be a better basketball team. And I still believe that they have that in them. They have that championship DNA, but it's a matter of figuring these things out. And yeah, that's my overall reaction to the Warriors tonight, losing to the Magic. I might edit this video. I might not. It depends on how I'm feeling. I have a whole other video dropping soon with my NBA predictions. I should have dropped it a week ago, but I got to be honest with you, bro. I work, man. I work 10 to 12 hours a night each time, over and over and over. I was trying to make that video a banger. I had $200. I was going to gamble and do, X, Y, or Z. I might have to split some of my ideas in half because I just don't have much time to sit down and put my ideas out there in a way that I can accept. But you know what? That's fine. If you're watching this video still, appreciate it. Half of y'all watch 2 minutes in, y'all don't catch the end of it. I appreciate it if you made it to the end. But that's just how I feel, bro. So there will be more videos on the Warriors, all that stuff. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll talk to y'all in the next video, which should be the NBA predictions video. I'll have a disclaimer before I give my official predictions, because again, it was recorded a while ago. But I still stand on the majority of my takes. We'll see where that stuff lands us. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, people.